Now, Christopher Nolan has been hit and miss for me with his last several movies. Like Interstellar, I love it most of the way through, but the last 20 minutes just ruins the movie for me. But man, there's a lot of great stuff in that. And with Dunkirk, I think Dunkirk I'm kind of lukewarm on. Like I generally like it, but I think it's missing character. Like it's missing a character I can follow. But overall, it's just kind of like, yeah, I kind of dug it. And with his last movie, Tenet, I didn't like at all. I'm not a big fan at all with that movie. I thought it was a waste of my time watching it. But with Oppenheimer, though, I'm happy to say that I really like this movie, and I would say like I probably love this movie because it's 3 hours, but he finds a way to make it engrossing to like almost the entire movie. I would say almost the entire movie. Yeah, I'm engrossed with this movie because yeah, it's I don't know, like something about it, and I think one of the reasons for it being like intriguing throughout the entire movie is it's frantically paced. I mean, of course, it's the subject nature to it, but yeah, it's frantically paced, and this is something with some other Nolan films that I don't like because sometimes I'm like, can you let the scene breathe? But with this movie, I think it worked, and of course, with the subject nature being what it is, I think yeah, it makes it a great film, and also it being non-linear, it kind of threw me off at first because I was like we're going back and forth between his early in his career, and then him working on the Manhattan Project, and then of course in the future where he's being questioned for his like communist ties, and I was kind of like, okay, that's kind of weird, but I think as they went along, I kind of like I actually really dug it. The further it went in the movie, I think if it was linear, it probably could have fell into something being kind of cliche, but with it jumping around time, like from like future to past or whatever. I mean, it's all past, but with him working on the Manhattan Project and then going in the future and jumping around, I think that it worked. And that, as we got into the movie further, it kind of became a little more linear. So, and it felt more natural as it went along. And I did say I was engrossed through most of the movie. I would say though, this movie is too long. Like no movie needs to be 3 hours. So I would like, okay, they could have trimmed maybe 15 minutes off or like 30 or something like that. And it could have been like probably a cleaner movie, but I don't know. It's not a big gripe for me with this being 3 hours. It just isn't really. But I think just yeah, you could have shaved minutes off this movie. Nolan does do a great job in this, keeping it intriguing with the most of the movie being just people talking. And I would say like 95% is just people talking in this movie, but he makes it intriguing. He makes it engrossing. And you're just like your eyes are on the screen the entire time. I think it's great, and there's some interesting scenes in this movie. Like I'm sure if you've been on social media, you've probably heard of the Florence Pugh scene. Like I'm not gonna talk about it because it's kind of a spoiler, but I would say it's kind of interesting. Like it's kind of interesting, and I'm kind of like questioning though whether this like actually happened, where he's reciting like a famous lines he went over, like was it like now I am become death, that that line, if you know anything about Oppenheimer. So I was like he's referencing the line right there in those scenes, and I don't know, I'm kind of questioning whether that's real, but also I think filmmakers can embellish stuff because their like purpose is to entertain the audience, and like I feel like they don't have to be factually true through the entire thing. But yeah, they're interesting scenes, I would say. I'll keep it at interesting. And there's even one part of the scene or one part of these scenes where it's like how did it like that must have been awkward to film. But yeah, I'll keep it at that. And Cillian Murphy is great. It's like I'm happy to see him in a starring role in a big movie like this because like I'm sure he's been in other movies. Like he's been in Peaky Blinders where he's like the main star. And he's probably been on the movies where he's the main star, but to have this big a movie with Cillian Murphy elevating himself to the main star. I mean, he's been in Nolan movies like Dunkirk and the Dark Knight franchise as a Scarecrow. But like, yeah, seeing him in here again playing Oppenheimer is great. Matt Damon's really good in the movie. I think Matt Damon's really good. Emily Blunt, I think, is really good. Also playing the wife of Oppenheimer. I think Nolan diving into her struggles a little bit, I think elevates Emily Blunt's performance. It makes it purposeful that they cast Emily Blunt, a great actress, in that role. And Robert Downey Jr. is great too. I think like Robert Downey Jr. playing like what was his name, Strauss. I forget his first name. But like, yeah, he might be get an Oscar nom. He might get Oscar nom for best supporting actor because he's great. Jose Killian's probably gonna get the best actor nom too. So hopefully Robert Downey Jr. gets in and Cillian Murphy get noms for it because yeah, Robert Downey Jr. I think is great as like kind of opposition to Oppenheimer in this movie. But yeah, he has a great performance. And there's so many other actors in this movie. You got like Josh Hartnett in here, Jack Quaid, Benny Safdie's in here, Josh Peck, you know, when Drake and Josh. And all these roles are pretty small. I think, but you see roles like Casey Affleck pop in here. I think Casey Affleck, when he comes in, like he actually has a pretty good scene. He's really good in it, even though he's not in much of the movie. And they even have like Rami Malek in here. And like Rami Malek, he popped up in the movie. And like when he popped up, I was like, are you gonna speak at all? Is he gonna have any speaking lines? I was thinking the Nolan cast an Oscar winner to just be there without any speaking lines, but then later in the movie he has a moment where he does speak. So okay, he's good in that scenes. But yeah, for most of these actors, like they're recognizable actors, but they don't like some of them didn't really have much to do. I would say Josh Hartnett had a pretty good amount of like work to do. And then you also have David Krumholtz. Is it Krummels or Krummels? I think it's Krummels, but he's in the movie too, and I think he has a pretty good role in it. And there's so many other notable actors in this movie, and like I can't name all of them because I feel like I would be going on and on with it. But yeah, it's cool seeing all these actors, even though I don't know, you can't give smaller actors a chance. But I guess with Nolan, he wants these real life people to be, they kind of stand out a bit, just have a recognizable face like to them. So yeah, I kind of get it. And he did handle everything with respect when it comes to like the when it comes to the bombings, of course. And just the fact that he made this 3-hour movie feel intriguing through most of it, I think is a major accomplishment. And yeah, most of the movies is people talking, as I said. I mean, the one scene, of course, in New Mexico where I don't want to give it a, I mean, it's real life history, but with like the tests and bombing going off in New Mexico, I think it's a thrilling scene. I think even with people talking, he makes these scenes feel really thrilling. And even towards the end of the movie where they're going into like the hearings with him being like, whether like them investigating his communist ties, I thought, okay, yeah, it like that was intriguing and it really built up well. So yeah, it's really good. Really good. I would say edging on great. So yeah, and I think it's probably, well, like it could be one of my favorite Nolan movies. I don't know. Like I don't know if I'll see it again anytime soon, but I'll probably have to check it out when it comes on digital or whatever. I know Nolan probably doesn't want that. But yeah, but I would give this movie a 9.3 out of 10. I think it's that good. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So you can tell me what you thought about this movie if you've seen Oppenheimer. So yeah, tell me down below. And what are your thoughts on it? Does it rank to the top of Nolan movies for you? So yeah, tell me down below. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you all later. Rebel out.